Oh, geez, that starts really fast. Okay, I've never used this system before. Hey. My name is Liz, and if you can't tell, I don't understand anything about computers, and this is really shaky. This is what happens when your lap is holding the laptop. What? No. Okay. Once more, I'm going to try this. Okay, yeah, trying not to move so much so that the laptop, which is my only camera, because I don't have an actual camera, doesn't shake everywhere. Anyways, my name is Liz, and, I am starting this channel because I actually have the time to do it, and I told myself that I would do it, even though I probably won't even post this, but if I do, hey, post, no, upload, that is the word. Zoe, stop moving. You're, like, making noise. So, anyways, I figured that if this is going to be a fangirling thing, I should start with something that it's really easy to fangirl over, and that would be Merlin, because, oh, the feels. When I first started watching Merlin, it was because I walked into the living room and my mom just kind of had it on, and I'm like, hey mom, what are you watching? And she's like, Merlin, and I'm like, what episode are you even on? And she's like, oh, it's like halfway through episode 2, and she told me that if I wanted to go back and watch the first 2 episodes, I could do it on my own time, but you know, we watched a season a day for like 2 weeks because we didn't have every day to watch a season, but you know, so I only just got around to watching those first 2 episodes, and they were gold. I mean, they were fandom gold, okay? When I finally got to the end, I realized that it was ending. I mean, I went into it knowing Merlin had been cancelled, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I know the legend of Merlin. I know that King Arthur dies, and Camelot falls, and woo, all that in a jolly good day. And that was what I was expecting. I was not expecting to fall in love with the characters. I was not expecting it to rip my entire heart out, and I was not expecting to cry, and I don't think I did cry. I might have cried. I don't remember, I finished it a while ago. So, this video is just kind of a tribute to everything that happened in Merlin. I guess. I don't even know what I'm doing. Sorry. So Merlin starts, and it's basically a whole season of Merlin doing stupid things and ending up in the stocks, because that's what Merlin does. I mean, if Merlin did anything other than do something stupid to end up in the stocks, I don't think season 1 would have been as wonderful as it was. At the same time, he is talking to the dragon that was captured and kept, and he is learning how to control his magic and all of that stuff, and I wasn't expecting that. I mean, Arthur was still only a prince, and I'm like, but the Legend of Merlin that I know had, you know, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, and hello Zoe. Please don't lick me, you just had a bunch of water. That's my dog. But yeah, I mean, it isn't what you're expecting, but it's great. But then you realize that you hate Uther Pendragon, who is the king at the time, and you realize that you really want to gouge his eyes out, but you can't because, well, he's a fictional character, and yeah. But as it goes on, you just grow to want Arthur to be king, and then there's so many things that happen, and then there's Morgana, and then there's Mordred, and you're just like, what? Because it's not the legend at all. I mean, it is the legend, but it's not the legend. And so you kind of separate yourself from the millions of versions you can learn of it, and you get attached to this. And then you realize that the only ship that makes sense anymore is Merlin and Arthur. And then, after you finish it, you realize that you really ship it. And you don't even care that the only reason you ship it is because you feel the need to ship it because it's done, and if your OTP isn't gay, you're not doing it right. But you just have these feels. And I found the Merthyr tag on Tumblr, and I reblogged like half of it. But it was beautiful and I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it at all. So there was all that jazz, I guess. I'm sorry, I don't even know what to say. I'm talking to my laptop. Do I just continue to talk? Do I be like, yeah, and then all of this stuff happened? Like, okay, I don't want to spoil it for you. Does it bother anyone else that they totally could have continued Merlin, though? Like, they could do it in modern times, too, just to make it awesome and be like, yeah, Arthur, the once and future king, and it's the future, so they could have, like, reincarnated Arthur and Merlin, and they could fall in love, and this show broke me. I started rewatching it, and then I stopped myself, because I couldn't do it. Oh my gosh, I just can't do it, okay? I have such intense feelings about this. It's so hard. Why is it so sad? Everything I love dies. No, what confused me was at the end. Okay, so if anyone actually watches this and you understand what happened, please tell me. So we all know that Camelot obviously no longer exists because it ends with, like, old Merlin walking on the side of the modern road. But Guinevere became queen. Like, she was already queen, obviously, but she was, like, alive? Which, okay, I understand the twist they made, so I get it, but, like, what? Does anyone know how Guinevere and Camelot survived? Like, I get how Guinevere survived, okay, she wasn't in battle and she wasn't hanged or anything like that, but how did she continue on as Queen of Camelot? Like, does anyone have any theories on how Camelot fell if it didn't fall at the death of King Arthur? Like, what up with that? Like, do you think that it just kind of evolved into a modern day England? Like, what do you think is up with that? I don't know. I have to ask. And all of you Merlinians out there, I think that's what our fandom is called. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Merlinian, right? Merlinian? I think so. If not, that's what I'm gonna call it. But, yeah, so if any of you people out there know what was up with that, I would very much want to hear what up with that. Alright, thank you for watching this and bearing with my awkwardness, but I got into it at the end, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'll probably see you next week, and it'll probably be just this weird, so bye!